welcome to another Morning Dash. I am your favorite morning show host, Dash. We'll be talking action movies today. Very, like I said, it's a very subjective list. I'm sure everybody else has tons of action movies that they like. This just happens to be my top 10 list. Lorena gave hers, but we didn't get it uploaded in time. So I'll be talking about just a few of hers. I had, talking about some of my honorable mentions. But everybody loves a good action movie, don't they? I got to mess with my camera here. Everybody loves a good action movie. One of the best action, that's one of the best movie genres out there. I had to take into consideration what was science fiction. So I, for the most part, left science fiction out. For the most part. I didn't add superhero movies to the action, even though they could be considered. So there's technically no superhero movies in there. That's a whole nother list in and of itself. But yeah, so many action movies to choose from. But would like to hear what some of yours are. If you have any favorite action movies. Hope everyone is having a beautiful Wednesday morning. Looks pretty nice outside. Finally, haven't heard the word severe storm in quite some time. So that's a good news especially for Oklahoma. But I digress. We'll get into our show again. Hope everyone is enjoying the summer so far. If you're out enjoying the summer, if you're at work, I'm sorry. You can always catch this immediately. You can catch the replay immediately after I'm done with my live. So it'll be up on my Facebook page. Go watch it. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs. Follow us on Facebook. If you feel inclined, you can give us some stars. We'd like some stars. That goes towards me getting more equipment to make my shows better. So I'd appreciate if you do that. If not, just sit back, enjoy. As you can see, we're going to be talking about Dash's top 10 action movies. I wish I had some applause. Everybody clap. Yay. These are in order as I see them. Again, all of my pictures or whatever I use for my slideshows, courtesy of Google Images, Amazon. I got some from IMDb as well this time. So credit goes to all of them for putting out the posters that I used for today's slideshow. So without further ado, we'll get started. Coming in at number 10 is probably the newest, most recent movie that I can think of that made my top 10. That is Prey. It was a Hulu original. It is an origin story, if you will, or very, very far back prequel to the Predator series. I just thought this was a fantastic movie. We get a whole brand new Predator that doesn't have as much technology as his predecessors do, or his followers do afterwards. This guy is mean. I think this is one of the best designs the Predator has had so far. I like the bone skull helmet. It's pretty cool. The acting was great. I loved the setting, Native American. Pre-man, in fact, I'm not even. It could obviously pre. Pilgrims Coming to America, I believe. I'm not sure. But definitely one of the best. I think this is one of the best, besides the original with Arnold. The best installment of the Predator Prey, movies like that. So I think we're getting another one coming soon. I think that one's set in the future. I'm not sure. I've heard rumors of samurai. I've heard rumors of pirates. I've heard rumors of the future. So I don't know, but I do know there is a second installment coming. Next up, it's hard. It's hard to pick which John Wick uh, that needs to be involved in this countdown. All of them are so good. Vern and I have done several shows on the John Wick's 1 and 2, 3, I believe. We haven't gotten to 4 yet. We will. But the first installment, I mean, you don't get John Wick 2, 3, and 4 without John Wick 1. And I just feel this is pure entertainment. And the fight scenes are fantastic in all of them. And you don't mess with a man's dog. I mean, it's pure and simple. You're trying to get out of the life of being a hired gun, only to be brought back in because someone kills your wife and kills your dog. That's pretty crappy thing to do. Excellent writing, excellent music scores, excellent fight scenes. The actors in every installment have been worth it, except for a couple. You know, there's a few that I didn't particularly care for, but John Wick 1, fantastic. I love it, and it just set up a great franchise. Can't beat. This is my first entry with Keanu. We'll have another one here shortly. But yeah, you know, going from Ted Theodore Logan to John Wick is pretty cool. So everybody loves Keanu. Number 8, Demolition Man. How close are we to being, living the Demolition Man lifestyle? My friend George would say we're really close to recreating this in the real world. Obviously, I don't know if we have any cryogenic frozen madmen out there or stuff like that, but it's pretty crazy, some of the similarities, as well as, come on, Stallone. This is my first entry for Stallone, and you got to love Wesley Snipes as Simon Phoenix. A great bad guy. All around, this is just perfect. You know, you got to love also that every restaurant is now named Taco Bell, no matter what. And you can't go wrong with Dennis Leary either. Dennis Leary is pretty good. So, yeah. Lorraine, this is one of Lorena's favorites. We watch this all the time. Every time it comes on, this is one movie that no matter where it is in the movie, we will stop to watch it. And I did figure out the reason for the 3 seashells. If you'd like to know, give a thumbs up and comment, and I will give you the reason for the 3 seashells. So I don't want to give it out on here. If you really want to know, you'll comment and ask me what the reason of the 3 seashells is. Up next at number 7, we got Die Hard. And there's this is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Argue with me, greatest Christmas movie of all time. There'll be people, it's not a Christmas movie. Absolutely is a Christmas movie. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about just what a fantastic movie. A while back, I read the origin of where this book came from, or where this movie came from. It was a book, and John McClane, the guy in the book, was either 60 or close to pushing 70 years old. And that's crazy. And it was based, the author based it around Frank Sinatra, which was pretty cool. But they made him younger. He was trying to save his daughter instead of his wife. And the name of that book is called Nothing Lasts Forever. Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. That's the name of the book. It was a real good book, but I think the movie Die Hard is way better. So if you get a chance to see it or read it, I highly suggest you read it. It's a fantastic book. Nothing Lasts Forever, Roderick Thorpe. But I mean, Bruce Willis, obviously, we're no longer going to get any movies from Bruce. He's going through some really bad health issues, and we pray that he comes through that. But one of the while we had great action movies, to me, this was one of the best. I mean, obviously it comes in at number 7, so it's one of my top 10, one of the best. But I just love it. You can't beat jumping off a building and swinging into and walking around barefooted, stepping on glass, and some great lines. Yippee ki welcome to the party, pal. Some great one-liners. You got to love it. But yep, I love Die Hard. Bruce deserves to be on this list with this movie. And it set up it set up 2 good sequels and a couple ones after that. They're still great. I don't know if they would ever make a top 10 list in anybody, but for me, the Die Hard 1, the original, definitely makes a list. The second entry for Keanu, The Matrix. The original Matrix was so fantastic, and then kind of was the introduction to some of the cool at the time. Now that may be a little bit overused graphics. The slow motion bending backwards, dodging all the bullets. That was some cool stuff. But Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Keanu Reeves, all of this was just a well put together movie. The plot is great. There's always speculation that we're living in a Matrix now. Take that with a grain of salt. But we were introduced to martial artist Keanu Reeves, and man, he's fantastic. I mean, as Neo, it's just this solidified to me that Keanu can be and would be a great action star as we go into, we get into the John Wicks. So who doesn't love Matrix? Love it, love it, love it. The sequels were okay up until 4. I was not pleased with 4. Just difference of some opinions on that. We'll just say that I was not happy with 4. I know a lot of people that were not happy with 4 because it felt like it was a reboot instead of a continuation. You can call it what it is. If it had gone under a different name but stayed with the Matrix theme, and they told me it was a reboot, it might be a total different movie. But you're trying to say it's still part of this franchise, which I don't think it is. That's me. I mean, if the authors and the creators have a different opinion, their opinion is what matters in the long run. But for me, I just didn't feel like it was part of the franchise. Coming in at number 5, Escape from New York. Oh, what could have been? Oh, what could have been had this continued going on? I think, not with Escape from LA. I'm talking stay with the New York theme and continue to do stuff immediately after instead of waiting years to do the follow-up with Escape from LA, which was it was all right, but I think the novelty of what Escape from New York was kind of wore off by then. But I think you could have had some great follow-ups in the years that followed this. Like immediately, if you'd done a sequel, I think it would have done just as well as Escape from New York. Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken, one of the, I just love his character. I feel like one of the, is an anti-hero. I don't think, he's not a hero in the hero sense. He's an anti-hero, but he was well written, introducing urban camouflage before we even knew urban camouflage existed. anybody with a patch over their eye has got to be a cool action character. But Adrian Barbeau was in this. Got to go in and rescue the president in a dystopian New York, setting. Just great all around. And Kurt Russell is probably my favorite actor besides Tom Cruise. But surprisingly enough, none of Tom Cruise's made my top 10. But I do love Tom Cruise movies. Say what you want. You can, chide me later and say what you want. But I separate the movies from real world so I can appreciate. While I may not follow everything somebody does in the real world, I can follow what they do in the movies, and I can, it's escapism. It's not realism. It's escapism. Some people have forgotten that. And then again, Kurt Russell, the best Kurt Russell movie, hands down, Big Trouble in Little China. Some will argue The Thing is his best movie. Some will argue Hateful Eight. Some will argue Tombstone. This is, Kurt Russell at his finest. I think this, the action plus the comedy, his comedic stuff. While nobody would call him a comedic actor, I think his timing is great in this movie. Plus, you get martial arts. You get a big old semi tractor trailer truck. You get magic. You get the inspiration for Raiden for the Mortal Kombat. Just some great stuff. I love this movie. It is one that no matter, again, it's kind of like Die Hard and Demolition Man. No matter where it is in the movie, I will stop and watch. No matter what day of the time, what time of the day it is, no matter what day it is, I will always stop and watch Big Trouble in Little China. Just fantastic movie. It still holds up to this day. It still holds up. Certain movies don't stand the test of time, but I definitely think Big Trouble in Little China does. And go watch it if you've never watched it. Just a really all around great movie. And just remember what Jack Burton says on a dark and stormy night. That's all I gotta say about that. Coming in at number 3, Arnold, the best installment of the Predator series. While I said there's lots of installments, there's Alien versus Predator. There's so many good Predator movies. Predator 2 was good, but I feel like Prey giving us some of the origin story. And if you watch Prey, if you go back to the very first movie that I was talking about, it ties into Predators 2. And if you didn't catch that, you need to go back and watch Predator 2 and then go watch Prey, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But this original installment of Predator, such a fantastic movie. Arnold this is probably my second favorite Arnold, next to Terminator. And Arnold's done some great in the 80s and in the 90s. Arnold did great action movies, but as time wears on, he still has it. I'm not saying his action movies and things that he's done in the 2010s and recently are great, but he still has it. He can still act. He can still put up a good show. Even in Expendables, I thought he did a good job. So he's still out there. But yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be the original Predator, which was a cat-like in appearance. They changed it up because he couldn't stand to be in the suit. Plus some egos got in the way. You got Carl Weathers, rest in peace, my friend. Carl Weathers is in this. Jesse the Body Ventura gives us one of the most scariest. If you're a military man, this movie gives one of the scariest scenes of all time, and that's Mac dry shaving. If you've ever had to dry shave, you know that is the scariest thing in the world. But introduced us to the Predators, and we've had some great Predator characters throughout the line. Are they good? Are they bad? I still haven't figured that out. I'd like to, if you think that the Predators are good guys or they're just they just making a living, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Coming in at number 2, you can't, you just can't have a top 10 action movie without. This is where I get a little sci-fi-ish and fantasy-ish with, along with Big Trouble in Little China, but this is more sci-fi-ish. I try to keep them separately, but this is still an action movie. This is the movie. While Arnold had been in Conan before this and some other movies in the 70s, this solidified Arnold Schwarzenegger as a true action hero, true action star, I should say. It wasn't until Terminator 2 that he actually became a hero Terminator. This one, he was the bad guy going in search for Sarah Connor. Some great scenes in this movie. Michael Biehn as Reese, Linda Hamilton as Sarah. This is great. Set up some of the greatest storyline telling and franchise telling in movies, but just fantastic acting from Arnold. You didn't have a whole lot of lines, but he pulled off the Terminator. He didn't have to act a whole lot, but this was great. It still goes down. I know a lot of people would have Terminator 2 over Terminator, and I can understand that argument because it does solidify Arnold as the good guy or the good Terminator in the subsequent films. But sometimes the original is the best. Sometimes you just can't beat the original. Plus, it introduces us to the Terminator. Now, I've had, if we were going into some of my science fiction and superhero movies, I'd probably have a lot more sequels over the originals. But I don't know. This was something about this one gets the ball going and sets the franchise down the right path. And finally, coming in at number 1 with the gold ribbon, the number 1. This is where a sequel comes in before the original. While I love First Blood, such a great movie, introduces us to John Rambo. Again, I think, though we had Rocky and things like this, again, I think this movie solidifies. I think this movie puts Stallone on top of the action heroes of the time. This puts Stallone over Arnold. This puts Stallone over Jean-Claude Van Damme. There's a reason he's still going strong to this day. I mean, we had the Expendables. Are they the greatest movies? No, but he's still out there running around. We get Tulsa King. I think that's a great introduction. He's still moving around. He's still acting. So I think that's a testament. This was coming from somebody that tried to get into acting and nobody wanted him, and then he turned around and wrote Rocky, gets an Oscar for writing, for best picture. I mean, come on. Stallone, while a lot of people may dislike him, you cannot top that Rambo First Blood Part 2. It spawned a many of genre ripping, copying, if you will, shows. But Rambo First Blood Part 2 is just hands down the best action movie in my opinion. It was at a time we were still we're on the ends of the Cold War with Russia, but this is all about Vietnam. But the Russians had a hand, or were having a hand in it. I don't know. I just going back into he wasn't supposed to find the POWs. He does. And just a great all around movie. I don't think there's been I don't think there's been anything that can top Rambo, even its sequels. While good, I might throw the Rambo 4, where he's old and he's there in Southeast Asia and he's working on the patrol boat and the missionaries come in and are trying to help and they get caught up in the war going on over there, and that might come in uh, just as good as this, but doesn't top. Excuse me, got the hiccups. But yeah, Rambo gets the top spot. And so that's the end of my slideshow. Honorable mentions: Top Gun Maverick, Gray Man. That would probably be one of the most recent ones that comes out and jumps up on to the action scene. I mean, it's a lot of people will be like, "What about The Rock? What about uh, this and that?" And I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to compare those to the 80s and the 90s because it's different style. Yeah, I mean, in the 80s and 90s, we liked our action stars huge and muscular and carrying around the big machine guns. But then, like I said, now you have Ryan Gosling, you have Keanu, uh, just a lot of good uh, actors out there that can carry on the action genre, and they don't need to be muscle bound and can still carry the movie. So uh, I don't know. I like it. I really like the Ryan Gosling and Fall Guy that just came out. I think it's a great movie. A lot of people didn't see it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. If you do go see it, it's a really good movie. Give it a chance. You just have to. But I know a lot of people don't want to go to the movie theaters anymore. They want to wait till it comes home to streaming, which is fine. But let me know what your favorite action movies are. If yours made the list, cool. If it didn't, let me know a few of your top tens. And we'll be back on Friday for another morning dash. Don't miss it. Tonight we have NFL Chalk Talk, so make sure that you're on board for Chalk Talk. Eric and I, and talking rumors, news, some trivia on tonight's episode. So let us know what you think. But until then, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I've been Dash, and this has been Morning Dash, your favorite morning talk show. And I will leave it at that and hope you guys have a great day. See ya.